Okay.
Recording in progress.
Thank you for your help. Just check. Yeah. He's like, okay.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry. No, please. That's what we want. Interruption. Good morning, everybody, and we want to welcome all of you to our Nigerian sisters. We want to welcome them again to BNE this morning, and to all the other guests. We welcome you all to Belize Natural Energy. My name is Albert Roches, and I'm the EHS manager here at the Belize Natural Energy. And we have a very special gathering here today, a mixture of culture, countries, so we'll have a buffet of discussions today.
Yes.
Yes. So to get started, we'd like to ask Edward, if Edward could lead us in a short prayer, please.
Morning.
Good morning, Edward.
I'd like to ask you to stand. Rise, God. Almighty and eternal Father, what in heaven, Lord, we come before you this morning, first of all, giving you thanks for life and for health and for the blessings that you provide for us each and every day. We thank you for this opportunity we have here to be gathered, Lord, to share ideas and develop programs then that we can share together to be of benefit to the peoples of our countries. Lord, we place this in your hands because we know that you are the one that makes all things possible. You are the one that directs everything that happens in our world, Lord, and we place everything in your hands because we're always seeking divine providence. We ask that you will touch our hearts, that you will fill us with your love, and that you will touch our intentions and our attitudes, Father God, that we may always be seeking to be of benefit to those around us. So Lord, we thank you for all those who are represented here. Thank you for this opportunity that we have to get together with Belize Natural Energy, with Belize, with Nigeria, and all the other countries and organizations that are represented. And we ask that you continue to direct our steps in everything that we do, and everything be done to bring benefit to the peoples of our different nations. We put everything in your hands, and we ask again that you will guide our thoughts at all times, and that your will be done at all times. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. So, folks, as you can see, we have a grand mixture of culture, people, entities, countries in this one. Good morning.
Sorry for being late. That's the
So before we get started, first of all, we'll just do a little bit of housekeeping. For all those, I got a good guidance from one of our Nigerian sisters yesterday. First rule of any meeting, housekeeping, right? So for all those who are here, if anyone needs to use the bathroom, we have the bathrooms right outside here. And here at BNE, we do our best to keep our environmental and safety priority. Actually, not really a priority, but more of a value. You know. And so in case of any emergency, you will hear an alarm go off, just like you hear like a school bell ring. You will hear one of that. And we have the exits right at the back. We have one there and one to the little kitchen here. But this would be the more direct one because our muster points or the place we gather for an emergency is at the gates where you came in through. So if there is anything of that sort, we have guys here that can guide you up to the gate, to the muster points that we got. Okay? So at any point in time, you have any questions, please just stop and ask the questions. Okay? Now today we want to have we'll have a couple of presentations, a couple of talks, but we really want an interactive session. You know, we have our sisters, I call them sisters from Nigeria, you know, who came all the way to Belize to meet a brother. You know? so we want to have that interactive session with everyone. We have opportunities here where we could establish, you know, lines of communication between the Far East and the East of the West, you know? Or I should call it the heart of the West, you know, that we were discussing yesterday. And we would like to see that happen throughout this morning and into this afternoon. So to get us going, I would like to ask Susan if you would like to welcome the guests as well.
Thank you so much, Albert. Thank you so much, Albert. The prayer. Beaming into Nigeria right now, actually. And there are a number of distinguished guests who were not able to come to this first ever really trade mission and getting together. And they're all beaming in, and others from around the world, from the United States and Africa. So I don't know if you can all hear me, but welcome. They may not recognize me in my new present, which I just got very kindly from my Nigerian sisters. And I'm totally delighted. I've already paraded it around the room so that everybody could actually touch it's beautiful thick cotton. It's a gorgeous quality. So thank you all very much indeed. I am delighted because this is an opportunity. And Dr. Denny O, who is the women in energy, WEOG, energy, oil and gas. But you know what we really established yesterday in our exchange? That the real energy is that energy, that spark that is igniting us together. It's that connect. And as we explored the discussion yesterday, it was fantastic that we actually sparked off each other. And therefore, in the getting to know each other and trust, you use that word quite a bit, we are more say we met many years ago at the Adugo Gym through Bev Swayze, actually. And it's great to see you again. And I'm delighted you're in a position that will and is already making change in Belmont. Well done. Today, it's extra special because we at BNE have understood this model of empowerment, both within ourselves, but ever oil company to discover oil in Belize. And so people wanted to know how will we live in Belize? And that's 17 years ago, by the way. We've been producing oil for 17 years and actually impacting the communities around the whole of Belize for 17 years, either through the BNE Trust, which I hope the director comes, I think he's coming later, Albert Garcia in Belmopan, through Energy for Life, which you'll maybe hear a little bit more about, which is the employees here. But what we're hearing is the model, the educational model that work for our company and the success of our company. Urban down at the back, who is a perfect example of a young gentleman, Belizean, who was really brilliant here, but he's followed his dream and he now has, I'd say, the #1 bus company in Belize. So I love it when people follow their passion, follow their dreams. And yes, BNE is called like the BNE school, the experiential school, but it gives me so much delight to see how to stretch it across the world, the Atlantic to Nigeria, and have a group of energy women in the private sector and the government come together and say, we want BNE and to learn and take those steps back home. And that's what was so great about the session yesterday. And today we want, somebody used the word love, and in fact we're on Love FM tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow on the morning show. But it really is those connects that will make business, because it's French makes business successful, because it's trust. And that's the top one of our chances when we're having a snack under points, trust. Because without trust, it's hard to get on the same page and hard to have those partnerships that will transcend even the widest part of the Atlantic, where my address is from. I just am so delighted. You know, 20 years ago, Mike Usher and can you believe we're actually standing in the miracle? We're sitting here in a miracle because nobody thought there was even the president about police. You're ruining your reputation. And I couldn't stop. We had the passion, we had the desire. And then when we understood the model and steps, we were able to apply it. And even the president of Shell phoned me and said, how did you do it? Because on the very first well we drilled, the Mike Usher #1, because I named it after my partner, Mike Usher. And we started drill. And on the 24th of June, 2005, we hit not just ordinary oil, but oil so light, 40-degree gravity oil so light, it goes straight into the generators without a gift. I mean, a gift that's already ready. It goes into our machinery, generators, it's powering the electricity for the whole Spanish River. Here, she's the head of really our retail market for BNE crude throughout Belize. And it's growing and growing because indeed Mother Nature has a refinery right under here. That's in essence what is making the oil lighter. And that is spectacular to hit on the first well. But when they hear this next thing, I want to share with you. Mike Usher died, and he died on the 24th of June 2004. A young man in his 50s. And then even the president of Shell grabbed his desk and said, this is what's something bigger than us. That's sort of why we're here, because we want to share that. And I couldn't be. We'll call it God, the universal energy. The name is maybe not so important as the understanding and sense. And that is why we actually are standing in a miracle right here, because it was born from the passion, the love, and the understanding that Mike and I and a group, believe it or not, of Irish investors believed so strongly in. The key vision was to make a difference with and for the people of Belize in harmony with the environment. And then that model be replicated. Now here today is the replication all the way across the Atlantic. And I wanted to set the stage so that you all could sort of feel the magic here and understand, yes, we're going to talk about rocks and the odd thing like that, and business and trade and everything, but the fundamental is that connect, that love, that understanding. Oh, they want to speak. And I think Dr. Judy Giselle, not my Giselle. Oh, Albert, is that right? Whatever you.
No, sorry. It was Giselle's phone.
Oh, it's Giselle's phone.
Yes.
We're using her system because she.
I think we lost the audio again.
Yeah, and so like I mentioned, I'm the EHS manager at the BNE. I've been with them for the last 15 years, you know, and I was at the government for 16 years before I came over to BNE. And, you know, it's been a great ride since, you know, and it's just been up and up from there, you know. So that's me from BNE, Albert. So I'm gonna ask the mayor of Belmopan, who is my cousin.
Pleasant good morning, everybody. My name is Sharon, Sharon Palacio. Everybody knows me as Sharon, but the name in my passport is Sharon. Happy to be here.
My name is Clementina Ruby. I am the Sustainable Community Development of NAPC, they call it Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Morning, I'm Eve David, host at David University.
My name is Zuera Sukumetu, I with the political head. How they address your worship. Okay, your worship. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zuera Sukumetu. I work with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. My job in the organization is to ensure that local content is enforced in our oil and gas industry. Our oil and gas industry, as you know, is very developed. So we make sure that Nigerians get the value of what they're supposed to get, because it's foreign dominated up until 10 years ago when we started. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to learn from everyone, even though Belize is small compared to us. There's a lot to learn from you. There's a lot.
Everyone, starting on the 60 protocols, my name is Princess Juliet Apple. I'm from the private sector, into manufacturing, of home fragrances, and also into gas. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Erica Johnson, and I'm the American Executive Secretary. Happy here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Melvin Adeniji, the Finance Director for Global Funds.
Nigeria also.
My name is Marta Bosa. I am Ambassador of Panama.
Good morning, Roberto Archila. I am the ambassador of Panama.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Guillermo Hernandez. I'm in representation of the ambassador of Mexico.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Albert Johnson. I'm the driver and security from your Palacio from Bogotá.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos días. My name is Luis Palacio. I'm the Director of Development, Innovation, International Relationship, and any work the mayor gets me to do.
Morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. My name is Agetutu Olayorukomi. I'm representing Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in Nigeria. We're all happy to be here, and we've been learning great things from Belize energy, natural resources, and we hope to learn more today. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jumoke Uyedon. I'm from the private sector in Nigeria. And in my company, I've made on set to do measurement library services, rentals, and also conferencing. It's a pleasure to be here to learn new things and to improve and to take the model down to Nigeria. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Teniola Abu from Nigeria, and I work with Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Shaw. I work at the Department of Environment.
Everyone, my name is Anton Lai. I work with the Department of Environment.
My name is Marvin Moncrief, guest of the show.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Rodriguez. I am the Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of the Public Service.
morning, everyone. My name is Ibakiwa, and I'm the finance manager here at BNE.
My name is Gisela Best. I'm the sales and customer care here at Complete Academy. My name is Virginia Ophelia. I am from Venezuela.
Morning, everyone. My name is Gerardo Argot. I'm the ambassador of Venezuela here in Belize.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Roberto Young, the Promotion and Facilities Manager for BNE.
Hey everyone, I'm Marcel, I'm Ambassador for Brazil.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alessandra Simone. We're environmental and energy consultants.
I work with her.
My name is Marshall Shaw. I'm the control room supervisor at BNE. Welcome.
Elizabeth Harvey, and I'm the lab manager for companies. Good morning, everyone. I'm Magali Garcia, and the wife of the chairman of the trust.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Albert Garcia. I'm the chairman of the National Energy Trust. I'm also the managing director. Good morning. My name is Marvin Bansley. Was an employee at BNE for 10 years. Now in the private sector of transport.
Morning, everybody. My name is Mandela Wade, petroleum engineer. Also the manager of the technical development unit at BNE. Prior to BNE, I also did 7 years as petroleum engineer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joel Smith. I'm the human resource manager and admin. And welcome to BNE at Belize.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Edward Pineda. I'm the environmental health and safety coordinator at BNE. My emphasis is on health and safety and welcome.
Morning, everyone. My name is Hector Galis. I'm the program person manager here at BNE.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eugene Ariola. I'm the geoscientist for Belize Natural Energy Limited. And I look at the subsurface and look for clues for energy, more oil, and all the geological resources available to us. Everyone, I'm Lawrence Lopez, reservoir engineer for Belize Natural Energy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dez Beard. I am the procurement officer for Belize Natural Energy Limited. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Trish Fitzpatrick, and I'm part of the Irish Investor Group from Ireland, who were very excited when we discovered the first fire in Belize, and many stories to tell. And it's been a magical journey, and it's great to see now that it's taken on the vision of replicating the model. Really fantastic. And so you guys should come. It's great to be part of it.
Is that everyone? Did we? All right, thank you. And we are gonna ask the crew, Marshall, would you like to manage this? Want to ask those to introduce themselves, but I don't want them to have any feedback with anything. Let's see.
Sure.
This is the ladies from Nigeria.
Yes, we have the ladies from Nigeria.
Head. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished ambassadors, good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Lovely to see all your beautiful faces. I'm excited to be here today, and I'm hoping that the engagements will be very inspiring and impactful. My name is Dede Yebovi, and I'm a member of WEOG, Midstream Committee member of WEOG, which is Women in Energy, Oil and Gas Nigeria. I'm delighted to be here today. Thank you. Got a couple of people online with us, and then I'll ask them to please turn on their mics and introduce themselves as quickly as possible.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Dr. Ahmed.
Yeah, good
Go ahead.
evening. My name is Lami. Okay, I'm also a director on the board of NNPC Limited. I'm delighted to be here. I mean, across the globe, talking to you. What is happening now is to show that the world has become a global image. So a very fruitful collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Duni, are you there?
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. And I'd like to say a big thank you to the Team Belize for making this happen, and also for the WEOG team for making this happen finally, after almost 2 years that we've been trying to do this. We've done the version 1 virtually, and then this is version 2 that is hybrid. I'd like to say a big thank you to Susan Morris, our global patron, the global patron of Women in Energy, Oil and Gas. You've been an inspiration, and we are most grateful and glad for your being here. In order for us to save time, because this welcome ceremony is meant to be for just 1.5 hours after the event continues live in Belize. I'll just quickly fly through the different people that are here. I'll start with the dignitaries that will be giving goodwill messages shortly. Here with us, we have Ambassador Wallace Williams, who is the ambassador of Antigua and Barbuda, and he is also Trinidad and Tobago. So he represents Central America in Nigeria, and he's been a very good friend, and he's been a very great support to making this energy trade mission happen, with in mind that we're going to replicate what we're doing here in Antigua and Barbuda in the next few months. So Ambassador Wallace, you're most welcome, sir. Please, can we just give him a round of applause? And also here with us, we have Barrister Oyambo Owe. Barrister Oyambo Owe is joining this meeting all the way from Ghana in West Africa. So it's indeed a global meeting. And Ambassador Barrister Oyambo Owe is a member of the governing board of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. And she's also a senior technical advisor to the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Nigeria. Ambassador Owe, we're happy to have you here. And also here with us, we have Ambassador Collins Nwosu, who is an ambassador of the International Trade Facilitators Association. They've been a major support because they have strong expertise in trade mission facilitation across the globe. And then he would also be giving us an overview of the trade opportunities in Nigeria, even as we have people share trade opportunities, energy trade opportunities across the different countries that are represented there. And also with us is the chairperson. We mentioned the 4 chairpersons that actually planned this event from head to toe. I have the chairperson of the Energy Trade Mission Committee in the person of Mrs. Tony Yusuf. Mrs. Tony Yusuf, here we go. Yeah, so this is the result of all your sleepless nights for so many weeks. So a number of us would have been physically there, but due to some logistics and documentation issues, visa and stuff like that, they are unable to come. But they've been working assiduously day and night to make this happen, and they are so excited to see it happening. Also with her is the chairperson of the Belize Natural Energy Tour that happened yesterday, and that is the person of Engineer Bosede Oyekunle, who is a project manager with Wally. Engineer Bosede Oyekunle, nice to have you here. Also with us is Mrs. Adekweju Adekunle, who was the chairperson for the birthday celebration we had a couple of days ago with Susan live in Colorado. And she is manager IT and change management in Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPC. And then a number of our members from across the country and even across West Africa are all here represented. But because of time, I won't be able to mention everybody's name, but I would like to ask that everybody go to the chat room, kindly introduce yourself in chats and tell us what you do in and for the industry. Oh yes, we also have Dr. Ayoteju Ogun. Dr. Ayoteju Ogun, I must but mention, because on the very first mission trip we had as WEOG to Houston, Texas, she was there. And on this one again, we've had some wonderful time together in the last 3 days trying to get on the plane, and I must but mention her. And then we also have our technical assistants right there doing a lot of wonderful things. Some of those programs and stuff you have been seeing were done by not under but engineer Pelumi Badiru. Okay, so I would like to ask that when any of the other dignitaries that will be giving good messages come in, I would definitely ask permission from Albert to mention them before their own talk. Thank you very much. And then we are happy, we are excited. This is happening at long last. God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Duni. Thank you so much.
Albert? It's lucky he's his cousin.
Okay, I think the next activity should be the anthems of the two countries.
Yes. Yes, we'll take the national anthem for the two countries. We'll start with Belize.
No. Actually, we're not going to take time because we've got everybody represented here. And the time is a little bit short and we want to be more flexible. We'll just appreciate our countries and move on to the world. Would that be all right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, we could be singing like, 7 Guatemala, everybody.
Thank you very much, Duni, for that wonderful introduction. So, friends, we have now reached the part where we might get to hear some of the interesting remarks, stories from the various countries, as to why we are here, what got us here. And as Susan mentioned earlier, we definitely want to share this model that BNE has been following for some years now. And we would like, to pass this on to our sisters in Nigeria, definitely. I know we have been working, discussing it since yesterday. And days before that, I believe so. Since we have other guests, honorable guests here with us, I'm not sure if any one of you want to share anything with us, what you would like to get from today's meeting, for our sisters from Africa, from Nigeria, if you would like to share something with everyone here with respect to what you do, Susan.
Well, I'm just thinking the dreams and aspirations and goals of Lady Maris would be wonderful to set the stage for many, many people to just come forward and express what they would love to achieve here today and go forward and make these cross-global connections really happen. Would you like to start, or is that all right? Okay, thank you very much indeed.
So good morning again.
Morning.
Good morning.
Everybody. First and foremost, for me, it's a wonderful opportunity to be here. I got the invitation from my very good friend. And when I heard it, I didn't even listen to all the details. All I heard was Nigeria. And I could care less. I said, all right, no problem. And along with that, I know Susan, and seeing her this morning, the welcome was so heartwarming. I felt the energy. As the mayor of Belmopan, the joy that I have right now is that I'll be able to create linkages for a lifetime. I won't stand here to tell you all what we knew, because truth told, when we inherited City Hall, we inherited nothing. I could have easily gotten discouraged, but I said, no, I will not do that. Instead, as a proud member of the People's United Party, I started reaching out to community members. And of course, we have our goals. There are things that we want to achieve. For example, we have our educational platform. And today should have been a day for me to be finalizing some knapsacks. We have a lot of single women in motherhood who needs help. And the education platform, our budget is like $100,000 Belize, whereby we're assisting students to go to attend the University of Belize. We have different high schools right here in the city of Belmopan, and right now the preschool. We've been engaged in training women to make soaps from the Global Connect that I've been journeying to Ghana, and through that journey, brought some trainers. We brought a trainer from Ghana, and she has successfully trained 100 and something women, and 70 were successful in being able to make soaps. Let's give these women and Ghana a massive round of applause. Here we have strong connect when it comes to the Calabar Carnival, and the cultural carnival is what we're working on right now. We were planning to have it this year, but I'm sure we're going to have it next year. It's a good way to generate income, and the model is directly from Calabar. Give yourselves a round of applause. We have 7 acres of land that we just decided that we're going to build our first city hall. Give Belmopan City Council. The money is coming from us yet, but we're sure that we have 7 acres of land to build City Hall, and we have another 7 acres of land to construct the first skills institute, skills training institute. As the capital city, we don't have that part of the education defined for young people. Everything is highly academic, and if they want to pursue skills training, but they don't want to do the academics, they need to travel all the way past BNE to Salinas. So hopefully, prayerfully, we're working on that, and we've already started it with the soap. In the next 2 months, we have a guy from England who will be training 25 Belmopanese as drone pilots. And the first that they're going to produce for us is entire Belmopan. So when we see a piece of land, we know if it's usable, we know exactly what it is. Director of Development, am I missing anything? Good. Okay, I'm not here to campaign, just to share.
I'm trying to think of maybe, Marvin, would you like to get up and just say a little bit about your journey? Marvin. as he introduced himself, worked at BNE for 10 years. And now wait to hear what he's doing.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
My name is Marvin. I'm 35 years, 36 years old. I'm a little girl, she's 3.5. That's probably the most important thing that we know. Spending time with my little girl. But my journey started with BNE when I was 19. Wanted to go study, wanted to do civil engineering. My dad told me, how's going? There's too much civil engineering, do chemical engineering because you're guaranteed a job. We're on the way to the bank. She told me, not signing collateral. That being strict and guiding. It was a good decision because as soon as I started my chemical engineering degree in Trinidad and Tobago, the BNE, was able to give me jobs Christmas time, sometime. They planned me in, and when I finished studying, I got my job immediately. And it is, I would say, it is the biggest thing that's changed my life in terms of the experience, opportunities provided, but also the way that my mind has changed to view the world around me perspective. So after 10 years of working at BNE, the first 5 years as a junior engineer, eventually made it as a maintenance manager at Belize Natural Energy. And through a lot of different educational courses at Educo, I was able to see the world differently. And I think that despite all the positions that we have and things that we do, we as humans, no matter how complex the job is, we have pretty much the same difficulties. Life challenges us in different ways. But somewhat common. If you're the CEO of a specific company or you're the security person in a day, you have certain emotional challenges every day. Obviously with your anger, with your dreams, with jealousy, with a whole bunch of stuff that sometimes detracts from your dreams, and years could pass, and then you feel like you're older and you haven't accomplished what you want. And then there's a whole different realm of understanding people and managing people, because they'll have the same challenges. And so, as a good leader, if you want to get the most out of your organization, you have to understand the things that they go through and then guide them so that they can also develop. Because as a company or as a leader, you're only as good as the people that work for you or that partner. So with that being said, after 10 years of working with BNE, I felt that the company was in a good spot. And I felt like I wanted to do something else different, try something else. And I ended up doing 2 years and a half. So Belize used to import butane and propane via road through Guatemala. But I believe that used to come through Honduras and then they used to truck it, right? It didn't quite make sense in that it still comes from the US. So to cut off the whole roadside, the idea came about that, put a terminal to Belize national security, there's full works of reasons why. And so that was an exciting project, and it was requested of me to be project engineer, which is a big thing because then I would be the Belizean counterpart of engineers in the US that would be designing. And that project opened my mind up a lot too, in that I realized there was a lot of knowledge in this organization, because despite working with American counterparts that knew a lot, I still felt that my contribution, my edits, my modifications were extremely valuable to the project. And then after doing that, I realized I had a passion for creating. Because we were moving from the project itself into operations, and I was like, I want to do my own thing, not just work for someone. So I had a lot to offer in that. So in the journey of seeking what to do, saw a need in the public transportation sector, which for many years has been in and out of progress to the point where they call Belizean buses the dry weather buses. At the moment it starts to rain, you feel the same weather that's outside. So we ran the numbers, had the confidence and had the strength, mental strength to push, because it's been a journey. Sometimes you want to do good for a certain target group, but you have to fight that target group, convince them that this is not good for you. The regulators, the forwards. But it's been fun, 8 months into it, and I think that we've established a good following. For appreciative of the service. It's called Floralia. And that's just one project, that's just the beginning. We're developing a team and replicating a lot of the same things that I learned here at BNE. It's a model that works. It's not just about treating your people right, it's about empowering them with the right skill and mentality and a change of perspective more than anything. It's the same world, same challenges, but if you just change your angle, you're no longer looking at it from here, you're looking at it from here, it's a whole different view. and you actually feel you can achieve. Like, it doesn't matter how complex the product could be. So I'm hoping for a more complex product. But that's been my journey, and I must say that it's been one of those things where it's like if you've lived in a room for a very long time and there's one door in that room and you go in and out of that room every day and there's just one door. Then suddenly someone in that room tells you, hey, you do realize there's another door there? You're completely amazed that that's true. There is a door there, but you could never have seen it. And that's what Educo and this model has done. It really changes how you see the world and how you approach problems so that you could achieve like the ultimate goal.
Okay, folks, thank you very much, Martin, for that amazing, powerful story about your voyage. And folks, we will now have Didi to introduce some of the other speakers from Nigeria who will give us a little bit of their side.
Could you turn off the light so we can see them?
Good evening once again, everyone. So we've got a couple of people that will give us some goodwill messages. I've got Dr. Mrs. Lami Ahmed. She's a board member, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Company Limited now, actually. Dr. Ahmed will speak to us and give us a short goodwill message. Thank you. Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you so much. It is my singular honor, and I feel humbled to be given the privilege to give this goodwill message. I see this trade mission as well overdue because across the world, what is important now for countries is collaboration. And so I see this as an opportunity for us to collaborate for greater growth and learning. And so I am happy that this is happening. And I particularly think that this will not be the last. I see this trade mission as something that will grow much bigger than us in a few years to come. I'd like to say that Susan has become an icon of inspiration and motivation to women across the globe, particularly Nigerian women, because WEOG is never tired of making reference to her achievement in Belize and also in the oil and gas industry. There's nothing that, there's no knowledge that is lost. And therefore, sharing the perspective of Belize experience in oil and gas will be a good resource for Nigeria. Nigeria is large, is big, we have the resource, but then we also need to share best practices across the world. NNPC, for instance, is in transition, is global, and is focused. Because across the globe right now, we are moving towards a trajectory of perfection, where the resources available has to be well managed. Therefore, learning the experience of Belize will be a great support to Nigeria and to the oil industry, in particular. So it is my prayer that this continuous engagement of collaboration will be a great resource for us, particularly women, encouraging women to rise and take part in the industry for growth and for development. Therefore, now that we are coming together as two nations, I believe that we should take a perfect opportunity of the best practices from these two countries so that we can forge a better relationship in the oil and gas industry as we move towards growth in both countries. I am happy that WEOG and the organizers in Belize are able to bring this together, and I hope that we'll continue to collaborate. And I'm also happy that WEOG Energy Women are closing the gap, energy gap, and moving the nations forward. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you so much. We'll also call Barrister Onyambo Owe. She is the technical assistant to the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and also a member of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. Barrister Owe, over to you, please.
Call the next person.
It appears he's not available at the moment. Okay. I would call on Ambassador Wallace Williams. He's the ambassador of Antigua and Barbados to Nigeria. Honorable Ambassador, over to you. Okay.
Sorry about these delays.
Let's have a look. Okay.
I think the difficulty is at their side, actually, isn't it?
Yes, it must be. Okay, I'll have Ambassador Collins Nwosu. Is he available? He's the ambassador. Is Ambassador Nwosu available also? Let's have a look.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay. All right. It is quite humbling for me to be here today. Okay, I'm saying good evening here. It's morning over there in Belize. So good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining from somewhere where it's afternoon, good afternoon. I'll say good evening and good night at the same time, depending on where you're connecting from. So you don't feel left out. It is quite an honor. Susan, you've done quite a lot. Congratulations. Happy birthday, by the way. Permit me to stand on existing protocols. It's quite an honor to be here. And my name is Collins Nwosu. I serve currently as the Trade Ambassador to the International Trade Facilitation Association. Our assignment is simple. How can we help individuals, and nations to trade seamlessly? Can we deal with the barriers to trade? Can we do this through information, advocacy, trade missions, just as you have, where information is shared, interest is shared, and bridges created? Let me speak more about Nigeria because that's my mandate for today. The investment opportunities in Nigeria, they are numerous, and the few minutes we have will not be enough for me to enumerate everything that we could do in Nigeria. But here's one of the things that Susan said that caught my attention. Usually trust is the driver of business. Friendships, relationships is the driver of business. So I think we're on a good footing. And the first thing that we know that you can invest in Nigeria is understanding the Nigerian people, creating these relationships just as we're doing, fostering friendships. So there's a huge opportunity to invest in human capital and to invest in friendships. Secondly, we have 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Each state has unique investment opportunities. So if you wanted to look at Nigeria as a whole, you could say, look, we have 37 unique investment opportunities, each one with certain dynamics, incentives from the federal government, incentives from the states that would enable you to take advantage of those opportunities as they are in the states. But on a broad scope, let me start with agriculture. Agriculture generally, the country is blessed with almost 1 million square kilometers of arable land. And I can tell you that we're trying to position this nation to use agriculture to take over from oil and gas. So you can imagine the huge potential that is there in production of rice, palm, cashew, spices, shea butter, sugar, so many different agricultural produce that come out of the ground here. So if you wish to invest in raw materials, yes, you can do that. If you wish to invest in certain levels of processing, you can also do that. And this cuts across different industries because a lot of the food that's produced here can be used also for the cosmetics industry. And that's huge. That's huge, significantly huge. Then we can move on to real estate. People need homes to live in. And there's a high movement from rural to urban areas because of infrastructure related matters and real estate related matters. So there's a huge opportunity to invest. Is it in student housing? Is it in housing for business people? This is huge. The gap, different studies have come up with different numbers, but the bottom line is this. People need homes, both commercial and private properties, and the opportunities to invest in this exist significantly. So I'll leave it to you to discuss with our sisters who are with you physically. Then in terms of information and information technology, you may be aware that Silicon Valley has turned its attention to Nigeria. The likes of Flutterwave that were purchased by Stripe and PayPal, the likes of Paystack, the likes of tech icons like Jumia that are rivaling Amazon on the continent. These opportunities exist. They're huge, they're significant, and the human capital is also available for you to consider investing in that. Then we will not leave without speaking about power. Power, we have huge power deficits, and there is room for power development. I mean, whether in alternative energy sources are there, the policies of government are being geared such that it allows for proper investments and repatriation of your investment should you so choose to repatriate the funds that you generate from these investments. There's opportunity also in oil and gas because we can't talk about this without oil and gas. I mean, across the value chain, as developed as oil and gas is, there is so much more to be done. Right now, if you're aware, Nigeria-Morocco pipeline, gas pipeline, that's huge. We still have opportunities for gas pipings, even for industrial use, for countrywide use, for energy uses across. And that's just one amongst so many other opportunities that exist in the power, oil, and gas sector in Nigeria. So I guess those discussions will be ongoing and opportunities for partnerships will come in. Quickly mention transportation, entertainment, sports, healthcare. These two are huge. And as I said, I didn't want to go through state by state because we'll not have enough time, but on a broad scope, agriculture, real estate, power, information technology, oil and gas, transportation, entertainment, and media, sports and healthcare have huge potential. There's so much room. I mean, I'm not even speaking about tourism, I'm not even speaking about the opportunities to invest in human capital development. We're not even talking about the new investment vehicles that are around sustainability. So all of these come down to billions and billions of untapped wealth. And I think this trade mission is apt, this trade mission is timely. This trade mission shows what you can do. The size of a nation does not determine the kind of wealth that we produce, but it's the quality of people, the mindsets that have been set, the minds that have come together and decided along one vision to achieve something, and that matters. So I believe that looking at the collaborations that can come up and having in mind this broad scope of things that can be done, if we would just start from where Susan asked us to start, build relationships, build trust, invest in that human capital, then we can cascade that into all of the other things that are available in Nigeria. And as always, the ITFA is always on ground, International Trade Facilitation Association is always on ground to support, always to provide you information if it's in terms of navigating. That's how people say, a new broom sweeps clean, but an old broom knows all the corners. We can help you sweep as you navigate Nigeria in the African continent. So I wish all of you a wonderful time in Belize, and we look forward to having you coming over to Nigeria to spend some time and get to know us better as well. Bye for now.
Thank you, Ambassador Collins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Collins. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've got
maybe before
Barrister
maybe we could have a live one here and then alternate back to a Zoom one.
Okay.
That's
workable.
And
Sure.
I just see a lady nodding very much in our audience in connection with Ambassador Collins, and it's an educator who is very well renowned throughout Belize, and her name is Eve Aird. And if we could let Eve say a few words, would you, Eve?
Yes, yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. So then you
Sorry, I just saw you totally connecting there.
What resonated with me when the ambassador was speaking was when he said that the size of a nation is the mindset. What we think that. And that resonated with me because I represent an institution that's very small, BNE University. We have a total of maybe 600 students. We're totally private, get no investment from the home. Any money is from government. We exist solely on student tuition. But even during the pandemic, our enrollment went up. We cut our student tuition by 20%. We did not terminate the money. We did not cut salaries. Bonuses for staff. Switched immediately to regular workspace. We did not pause, as my boss said, did not pause our students' education. In fact, we enabled them to continue. We did not block students from registering because they could not pay their tuition. We met with them individually online and we scripted their payment plans. And we added programs. I think that is because of we exist to serve, believe we exist to serve our students. We have huge dreams. I have a $100 million university, so we all want out a new campus that we want to build. You know, I mean, what it wants building that campus, but we will build it. And it's going to be a green campus, completely solar energy driven campus, recycling waste materials. It's going to be a smart university campus, completely connected digitally.
I know you probably won't say this, but this is a lady of action, not just a dream. She takes action. And I want to share. Well, I think because I know her quite well, and her son has worked for us, Blaze, for so long, that she decided she wanted to lose weight. And she went to the Adugo gym because you knew about the mind aspect of it. And would you just like to tell, because that's what results are, whether it's with ourselves or with a whole university or with a country, a nation, the size is the as you said. It's the mindset. Go on, tell them a quick bit about your story.
Well, my Adugo story started with Susan back in when I was still at Sacred Heart College, trying to get me to go to the Bahamas. And I couldn't really get that. Things were happening at school in my life that I couldn't take off 2 weeks. But I did go in 2015 when I rejoined Yale University as a provost. And we had to develop a program. We had to sit down and what do we want to do, and vision where we want to be, and so on. And what I did was to develop Yale. I wanted Yale to be this place in 5 years. The program was delayed a little bit, but during the pandemic, we just launched when the pandemic started, we had just launched our strategic plan. And there was a lot of time to work from home. And so just driving ourselves, but at the same time while working from home, sitting at a desk all day long, and so at that weekend, it fell on me. My son connected me with Albert and he says, so what do you want to do? Let's develop a program on what it is that you want to achieve by this time. And so I started working out with Albert at 20 in the morning, 3 mornings a week. And then I added to that daily once in the evening, 1 minutes to an hour. Looked at what I was eating and how I was eating and what I was drinking. It's not always smooth sailing. There are slumps. COVID hit me this summer, and so that causes a slump. But over the course of the past 2 years, I've lost quite a bit. But it's my what I want for myself physically, where I want to go with the university. And this summer too, I spent some time and actually develop a strategy plan for myself in 5 years that connects everything. So
Very good. Thank you.
Here's the mic.
Thank you. We hand it back to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I believe we've got Ambassador Collins back on now. Sorry, Ambassador Wallace Williams, the Ambassador of Antigua and Barbados to Nigeria. He's back online, I believe. Ambassador Wallace Williams, are you there, sir? Do you want to share a quick goodwill message? Over to you, sir.
Maybe frozen.
Okay, he's got a bit of technical issues there.
Okay, call barrister.
Right. We'll call barrister. Oh, he's back. Fine now, Ambassador Williams. I think you're muted, sir. You need to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Over to you. Oops, you're muted again.
Good. Okay. I've unmuted.
Oh, we can't hear you, Ambassador.
Can you hear?
No, the network isn't.
Connection.
We'll take another one here while you're sorting it out, because there's a gentleman who just come into the room who was the ambassador from Belize to the United States. And maybe he could get up, Daniel Gutierrez, get up and say a few words. Is that all right?
That's absolutely fine. Yes,
hear me
well,
now? You can hear me now?
Oh, maybe he's back on. Yeah, is he back on?
Yes, I'm back on.
Oh, sorry, Daniel. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Good, good. So I want to say a very big welcome to those at the conference, and that we totally support Women in Energy. I am leading now as a visiting scholar to the Federal University of Petroleum in Nigeria, a gaspreneurship faculty. And I've already been speaking with Dr. Owo on bringing women into this faculty to benefit from training in gaspreneurship as part of the energy building of Nigeria, in the training of gaspreneurship, virtual pipelines, transportation. And I think women would do very well in this area and provide cooperatives and be plugged in to the energy sector of Nigeria, and
perhaps all over the world. So I will invite any of the women in energy from the other territories to please consider coming to Nigeria, to the Federal University of Petroleum, where I'm the director of the faculty, and where I will be supporting women in gaspreneurship, and of course, locals in Nigeria on gaspreneurship. So it's a welcome and congratulations on your conference, and we are in total support. We at the Federal University of Petroleum, and of course, the government of Antigua and Barbuda, who I represent, we give full support to the energy sector and women in energy.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Susan. You wanted to introduce someone?
Yes, Susan stepped out for a minute, but we'll be right back. So, yes, we'd like to have Daniel Gutierrez, please. He will explain and give this stuff.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, I'm frankly not sure exactly which side of my story I should tell, so I'm not going to. I'm going to pick up from where Ambassador left off. When I was at BNE, we worked on transportation from the trucking side to the shipping side, all the way to the refineries in the U.S., Gulf Coast, in Costa Rica, the transcontinental pipeline in Panama, and we did a lot of that work. So I would absolutely agree. I worked with many colleagues from client companies that were women. So we certainly welcome women in this team, and we would like to see more of them. Women are very precise in what they do. I'm not suggesting that men are not. I'm saying that I've worked with many women colleagues, and I would certainly agree that we would love to see more Asian women. The only other gas concern that I know about the LPG sector, where my wife works, and there are a couple of smaller LPG companies now in the country of Belize. But other than that, Susan asked me to say a little bit. I served as Belize's ambassador in Washington for 3 years, and therein we looked at a number of different areas of investment for Belize. I understand that the gathering over the next few days, today and tomorrow, looks at investment. So I can tell you there are any number of different areas of investment. Personally, I'm a bit biased to what I do because I do information technology. In the middle of the pandemic, we started an information technology called Think Tech Limited. Today we have dozens of contractors, mainly Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, Trinidad and Tobago, and Belize is the center for IT development. We serve clients in the United States, we serve clients in the United Kingdom, in Malaysia, and in Germany. And we hope to continue growing. So certainly I would welcome any kind of investment in that area. That's an investment in people. What we have done, because Belizeans only get so far at the University of Belize. It's a very good background, I will tell you, in information technology. But certainly in some of the more AWS type, Amazon Web Services or Azure, called cloud computing, we don't do that. That's new to Belize. So we do the trainings. And it goes back to some of the discussions I heard, certainly Dr. Ayer saying, and we are not afraid to do training. And it was on that basis that we were able to grow the company and continue to grow the company. But I don't want to bore you. I would prefer that you ask questions and then
I don't want to miss this.
So I don't know. There are any number of things I could talk about, Susan. I'm not sure where to start. But.
Well, and Marvin did a beautiful job. In a way, you're similar in that you spent time here and you were a brilliant communicator. Absolutely. With all the communities that we were going to drill in, Daniel always got together and brought everybody together. So I was not surprised when he was approached to be ambassador from Belize to the United States. And so that's really who we have, is someone who knows how to gain the trust and be genuine about it, both for an oil company and now then for a country of Belize. And now you're following your own dream. So it's some of those steps I'd love you to share.
Well, that's quite a mouthful for a limited amount of time. But I will tell you that, look, I suppose it might be new for many companies. I certainly don't think it new, but it's a tried and true formula. When we were at BNE, and I say were because there are still team members here that I remember, I see them in the audience. BNE certainly was not afraid to invest in people. Tommy Hamilton, Tommy Donner, you remember Tommy, many years in oil and gas trading. I have a master's in international marketing. That doesn't mean to say I know anything about oil and gas trading. So what BNE did is, while hired and while with the title, they brought this woman over to handhold me for 2 years, plus the trainings in Houston, in New York, and all these trainings, plus the real world while the training was happening. By the time Tammy left, the Belize team, which was essentially myself and Eva and Nikki and a couple of others, we were able to look, we developed the contracts, we looked through the contracts, we were able to sit down with clients in the US, GC, we were able to look at different crude specs depending on what refineries and the grades and all of that. That only happened because BNE was not afraid to train us. That only happened because of the technical training that they were not afraid to get involved in, all right? And certainly in my own company, and I said it right before you came in, Susan, we have taken a similar attitude. And by the way, two of the three founders of Think Tech Limited are ex-BNE employees. Carlos Leon, you know Carlos. Carlos is a colleague of mine, and a Belizean American by the name of Orlando Burgos, who has worked umpteen years as a solutions architect in the United States. We got together and we did this, but we could only do it because we were not afraid to train. In fact, tonight at 7, we have another training session starting with a technical institute out of India that's going to train another group of 4 developers in Power BI and Databricks development, right? So I guess if there's one message, and I know you were short for time, so it won't take too much time, but if there's one message that I would like to leave you, is do not be afraid to train your people. Not everybody is going to succeed, it's human, but everybody's going to learn from the process of engaging in that training. And it's imperative that you do that. Certainly, I was lucky enough I was honored to be able to represent the Belize in Washington. I did so when it was an interesting time in Washington, DC. It was an interesting time to navigate the bureaucracy, but we had to do it because it was right before the referendum. That had to do with the Belize-Guatemala border dispute. It was one of the most dangerous times in modern Belize history. A lot of it is unknown to the public, but that happened on our border. And a lot of it had to do with support from the Belize mission in Washington, D.C. But we got through it, and here we are, and we look forward to a new chapter. And we certainly wish the new government well in that regard. Any other area you want me to touch on?
One of the areas that's been touched on yesterday in the discussions, and Marvin hit on it, is the model, the BNE model that Nigeria, in fact, the ambassador from Nigeria, when Dr. Canton was CEO here, when that Nigerian ambassador, we discussed this yesterday, came and he said, we have all the oil, we're the 7th largest oil producers in the world, but we can learn so much from the BNE model, which was down to our discussions about community development, empowerment, not just of women, even men, but and you're a perfect example, but that
I learned from a woman from that.
Well, that's very true. But the whole of BNE, in a way, flourished, and the communities, associated communities, thanks to the fundamental Aduco model, I think that Eve mentioned, that we all had, we were all able to do that training and then go on with our minds cleared and open to learn even things we didn't think we would know, like the oil and gas sector, like international trading from Tammy, who was an expert. So I think you've probably hit the nail on the head each time, because the communication and everything that you did so beautifully here at BNE, you took to the global stage in Washington. And there was no better time. We've even got the Guatemalan ambassador here. And I say, by the way, I've got to just tell you a geological story. When I was asked 30 years ago, was there any oil in Belize? I time traveled back 100 million years. Being a geologist, we do that. I went back before Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize were countries 100 million years ago. And Cuba was actually just about off where the islands are, Ambergris Key. And that was Cuba. And that's how I knew in my heart there was oil here, because there was oil in Guatemala, Sean Rubel Santos, there's oil in Mexico, Campeche Ravorua, and there is lesser known oil in Cuba along those main faults. When you reconstruct it all and go back and time travel, you see not the national boundaries, you see the oneness actually of us, and you know how to travel as an oil molecule. You know, in fact, we're the least. And so that's actually how I was able to at least start saying to the group of Irish investors that came in, I know there's oil here. Now let's understand how we can bring it out with and for the people of the Belize and in harmony with the environment. And that's what you were brilliant at, getting out there into the local communities and connecting with them. Back to that word trust. They trusted BNE because you told them exactly what you meant.
Well, look, I am certainly not in a position to advise my Nigerian colleagues who are in this business way longer than we have and have significantly more confidence of oil and gas and have their own issues when it comes to the Delta and community relations. But we studied many of those cases for training. So I certainly am not in a position to tell you what to do. I can only tell you what we did. And as simplistic as this may sound, we went to the communities and say, listen, this is what's going to happen. You don't try to sugarcoat it because people are going to look right through you. You're going to say, this is what's happening. This is what can occur. This is the worst case scenario. This is the best case scenario. Life is somewhere in the middle. You can trust that at Belize Natural Energy, we're going to do our absolute best to steer it towards the best potential outcome. And that meant that in some cases, I had to give my personal cell phone to chairmen and women who would call me at 1 a.m. But that's what it means. If you're genuine about responding to your communities, that is what it means. And it also means that you have to have a really good and dedicated team of people. Where's Albert Roach? People like Al and people like where's Clara? You have to have the team here because look, I can stand in front of you and say anything, right? But the proof of the pudding is in the eating. When the guys are out there and are drilling at 2 a.m. and there's some log bang and somebody calls you, you have to have the confidence to be able to call your people and say, what happened? And go up there and be honest with people. So again, I'm certainly not in a position to advise anyone other than to tell you, this is what we did. It worked well 99% of the time. It didn't work well all the time. There were people who found it difficult to believe, and you had to walk the extra mile to be able to engage them and to show them what we were doing. And of course, we were lucky at BNE because BNE is layered. I mean, that is the community part of it. Personally, because I was also in charge of moving, of transporting the oil to Big Creek, I was able to speak to the communities along the road about what we do to be able to mitigate against potential issues. And while I was there, I don't know that anything has changed. We, in all those almost 10 years of transporting crude, had one rollover on mile 17 on the Hummingbird Highway, where about 5 gallons of Belize light crude spilled. You all remember that, and it was quickly cleaned up, right? We were not perfect. We're human, but we certainly were very honest and upfront in telling people, this is what you can expect. And if it goes wrong, this is what we'll do to try to deal with it. And that's all you can do. And then, of course, you layer the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust which is a national campaign. And that does help psychologically because you have oil money pouring into communities, whether it's through libraries, whether it's through, we didn't do scholarships, we certainly did.
We're doing
student loans,
scholarships now, yeah.
Scholarships. We did student loans, background scholarships. Now, that kind of thing helps. And it is, BNE trust is in your face. I mean, you drive the communities of this country and you will see a library, you will see a school. And one thing I always mentioned to Gilly or to Dr. Canton was, look, and please, if you're from Orange, don't beat me up for this. You can, how long has how long has BSI been operating in Orange? Decades. Show me what they've left for those communities. And then I said, we cannot do this with BNE. And we did. If you look around this country, you can feel BNE. And I think that is a part of what made it easy for the people of Belize to give us a chance. Because people are not fooled. They will give you a chance, but you have to prove yourself. And it's through doing things well that you eventually prove yourself. So that, again, it's no secret. It is just being honest with people. When you screw up, you got to go to the Mennonites and tell them, listen, we had, the pipe burst, and our people are up there, and we'll make sure it won't make the creek. And no, the creek is not dirty because of our oil, because we're chicken plant. And that's how relationships evolve, and they change. And you have to have people that really want to make a difference, that are not afraid. I mean, because you can't be, or else they will call you out.
Thank you, Dad. I love it that you walked in. Thank you so much. Dr. Dini, are you there? Yes?
Yes,
yes. Yes. Would you like to introduce another one, or would you like us to take someone from the audience live?
I'd like to introduce someone.
Okay.
Yes, we'd like to introduce someone. And I believe Barrister Oyambo Owe, she's around now. She's a technical assistant to the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. Oh, there she is. Over to you, Barrister. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon or good morning. I'm actually in Ghana, and this is evening here. It is indeed a global community because I'm able to speak with everyone from here. I got the invitation at very short notice, so I wasn't able to make it, but I got full approval from my bosses to attend this program virtually. I just want to thank the government of Belize and Belize Natural Energy in particular for making and taking this time out to create this opportunity, this trade mission, where the women in energy, oil and gas are in Belize to see and to make good trade discussions and trade decisions for both countries that will both have mutual benefits. I particularly want to thank Susan Morris, who extended this invitation to myself and the government of Nigeria. It's a great honor. A few statistics, which is quite overwhelming for myself, is comparison between the Belize as a country, which is just about 400,000 people, if I'm right, and producing about 5,000 barrels a day, if I'm also right, because I did the research.
Much less.
And Nigeria, which is producing about 1 million or a bit above 1 million barrels per day, conservatively, if I must speak. And we have about 200 million of us here. It's a great opportunity, and there's no time better than now, where the government had just passed the Petroleum Industry Act, which just created a legal framework for the oil and gas industry. It was a bit of a shaky ground for investors coming into Nigeria because they didn't have this framework, but now this has just been created. And I must tell you that we are having a good number of investors coming into Nigeria at this time. For Belize, I know that we have great opportunities, great potentials there, because I know the energy that people like yourself, the ambassador who just spoke now, and Susan Morris, who has been our great and wonderful host, and all the ambassadors that just spoke now. There is opportunity, as I've just heard, in Belize, and I trust the women in energy, oil, and gas to be able to harness and leverage on the opportunities they find. It won't stop here. We will definitely revisit the country because we have seen ourselves as sisters and sister nations where we can leverage on this opportunity. I want to thank everyone that has attended. I will personally take it out upon myself to come and see the country and, of course, naturalize if possible. I want to congratulate Susan Morris, who has just turned 70. We've had the first party and we're going to have another party. Thank you all for being there. I want to bring warm welcome, warm greetings and welcoming every participant of this about 5 to 7 days trade mission. Warm greetings from the President of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, who is quite aware of this program, and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, who is my direct boss, Chief Timothy Silva. We thank you all for being there and being good ambassadors of Nigeria. We hope to get a good report and then let's start a proper trade business. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Marissa Owe. Thank you. Thank you for that. Over to you, Albert or Susan. Do you have anybody else you want to introduce from the audience?
I'd like to say to everybody that I'm particularly honored that we had that welcome from really directly from the President and the Minister of Energy. And they actually, I think some steps have been taken in the latest petroleum legislation to encourage women to take greater positions. And I know that the organization that we're all about, WEOG, what you said? WEOG, which is a global organization, was instrumental in actually getting up and speaking to the Senate equivalent in Nigeria, I believe. Is that correct? Well, the Senate, the government, when they were discussing the petroleum legislation, etc., there was discussion from Dr. Dunio.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm singing your praises because it takes not just a sort of a desire, but you got to get up and, as many people have said, and actually fight for what you want and the rights of, for instance, women in this case to be heard, to be involved in politics and the energy business. But that was about 2 years ago, I think, that you sent me the photographs and everything.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, thank you very much, Susan, for referring to that incident and that story. So when the PIB review was on, PIB was the Petroleum Industry Bill, which had been hanging in Nigeria for about 20 years and it wasn't being passed. And also it's actually stalled investors coming into the nation, and even the ones in the nation weren't really looking in putting in so much money or their investment into the industry. And then during the time of the review, the Women in Energy group actually took out 7 days of their very precious time to do a full review of the 268-page document on a daily basis, sharing the pages into upstream, midstream, downstream. And at the end of that review session, we had a 7-point position that we went to the National Assembly to present to both the Nigerian Senate and also the House of Rep. And after our presentation, virtually all the points we raised, the 7 points position we raised, were actually adopted into the new, into the review and then adopted into the new PIA. And of particular mention or honorable mention is the fact that we ask that there needs to be more gender inclusion and diversity in the industry. And at the end of everything, we now have 3 women on the board of NNPC. after that particular presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just as you're speaking, I'm thinking about actually a young man who works here, whose mother's already spoken, and his name is Blaise Aird. And I'd love him to come and just tell his story, if we could take a moment there.
Okay.
Come on, Blaise. And I know you don't really like me to say this, but when Blaise came, you were a shy young man, and actually you didn't look up very much. And now you're the exact opposite. Well, I think Ed's trying to get in. Oh. And could you tell the steps of the story, maybe coming to Belize? And what I know about Blaise now, not only you love your mom and it's a great relationship, but your willingness here at BNE to do anything and everything to allow this model, this understanding to not only keep BNE on the up and up, but the communities around. And that's what I loved about getting to know you. Your stage.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Uh-oh.
Good afternoon. Where should I begin? Well, people always say when you need to start something, you start at the very beginning. I graduated from my school. I graduated way back in 2002, sixth form 2004, university 2008, university again in 2016. But let me start. In 2007, about August, I used to be working, and I wasn't working to my full potential. I was working as a waiter. And my son Gerard, who my mom loves very much, this is Ibal, or Ibal. He was about to be born in about 2 months, and the hotel closed down for the slow season where I was working, and I needed a job desperately because I wanted to be a man, a grown man, and to take care of my family. So I contacted the young man that spoke a little while ago, Daniel. I told him, Daniel, I need a job. Can you get me into BNE? He said, there's like full of the application. A couple of weeks passed and no response to the application, and so I called him again. Daniel, I need a job. He said, Blaise, I'll speak to the HR manager, who is his wife at the time. And I'm not ashamed to say. So a week later, Erin called me and said, "This call if you can come into an interview." That was a Thursday. The interview was Friday. She called. I went to the interview. I met Kobe, and I was terrified of Kobe. I was desperately terrified. So I went to the interview, and what before I know, Daniel called me and said, "This man is scary, but just answer honestly. Answer his question honestly." So I did. And I got back, finished the interview, and I got the interview was in Downtown at the headquarters here. So I got back on the bus, and I was going back to where my wife was at my mother-in-law. On the way on the bus going down, Erin called me and said, "Blaise, you're hired. Report to work on Monday morning." So I came to work and did not know what to expect, but I reported to work. We had in this very same room here, the orientation, and I was one of about 10 or 12 people that had it hired at the same time. So I came into work, and the minute I walked into the compound, at that time I walked into the compound, I felt that positive energy that everybody was working towards one common goal, was to build BNE up and in turn build Belize up. So I started at the loading bay. I guess you guys went over there yesterday. And about not even 2 months later, Erin called me again, "Blaise, a post is being opened up. Would you like it?" I said, "Of course." But I got the training. A week after that, starting a new post. Dr. Canton came to me at the time. He said, "Blaise, Susan wants you to go to the Bahamas." I said, "Okay, but I don't have a US visa. It had to expire about a week." He said, "Don't worry about that, we'll take care of it." So said, so done. went in to pick up the visa in the US at the US Embassy, and after I went, I didn't know what to expect at the time either. But the model that Tony presented, Tony and Jim were at the time, I think Patty was there on my very first seminar, made me see the work that I do from a different perspective. I wasn't clocking in and doing work. I was working towards a common goal to build BNE up. And so I said to her, at that time I said a couple of goals ahead that I wanted. I had a couple of goals, and one of them was to own my own home. I never specified the home, so that was the problem. I didn't specify the type of home, and so I ended up getting a house that I was suitable for the time when my kids were very small. So a few months later, Melanie at the time, Melanie Escalante, and said that he wanted to go on another seminar. It was more to look toward my health. Well, again, the goals became clear at the time. But on the first seminar, I said I wanted to finish my master's degree. The cookies crumbled in such a way that my mom went back to Galen, and the opportunity came that I could do my master's degree. I did it. I did the master's degree. I think I believe in my heart that I excelled when I did. But not to say anything, it did not close my mind. It just made me achieve more of what I wanted. During all that time, I went from production coordinator to fleet coordinator, over to maintenance coordinator, and then over to procurement, logistics, and supplies coordinator. Moving all along until now that I am procurement officer. Now, if you look at it, is that my associate's degree was in business, my bachelor's degree is in business, my master's degree is in business. And now I am doing what I feel I enjoy the most doing. I interact with people on a daily basis. I work with a beautiful team. And so during all that time, I had one thing in my mind: to do well at my job, excel at my job, and take care of my family. So, and that's what I believe that the people has made that laser focus. So my mom could tell you that when she went to the seminar, she had, and she's still working on those big plans, and so she did for Galen. But it's not only for Galen, she's doing it for herself as well. Look at her. 2 years ago, she said before that she wanted to lose X amount of pounds. She did it.
Yeah.
Tony taught us to be more confident. And if you go to my desk, and Susan can tell you, right behind my desk, I have a picture of a home that I want to build. So I look at that picture every morning and I say, that's the house I want to build for myself. And while my mom would tell you I'm a Christian and I believe in the power of God. While God has not materialized that gift for me, that time is I believe it's everything has a season. So, and these are all the reinforcements I want to do because the contractors now. The time for me to build that home is not yet, but it will come. I believe it will come. I already had that vision set in my mind. Now, that shyness that I had was a roadblock. And the evidences of the roadblock was that I was a photographer making $265 an hour. And then I went from that photographer job to a waiter I was making $285 thereabouts. Minimum, during 15 years ago, that was minimum wage. That was the minimum wage at the time. And no drive to more. I was desperate, that's why I called so many times to come to me for a job at BNE. Not knowing the salary at the time. The salary didn't matter, I just need that job, let's keep my family. Now, when I went to that was January, February of 2008. I came back with a goal to be the very best production coordinator BNE has ever seen.
I think you've sort of, in a way, answered that question. And one of the others, we're going nation to nation, and now we're hearing individual stories, which is quite important to understand the reality of it. And one just last thing, Dave, would be that when you came back from the shy person and you were a man ready for action, but you noticed his mother noticed the difference in him. And that's when you understood that the attitude, as we talked about yesterday, the power and understanding of our mind and our mind, body, spirit connect and being on the same page was critical. And that's really an individual story. And there are so many of us that have that desire and want to be on, let's just say, our own same page first, and then that of a group, a company, and then of the country. And then the word.
Yeah.
It is, and not to be, to know to drop the doubts and the fears. That's what I had to do. Everybody was telling me there was no oil. But in my heart there was. And in a way, I let the energy out. And I let it lead me. And that's what the model is about. And it's about whether you're losing weight, whether you have a big dream for a whole country, and every single move in between. Even if you're in a big Nigerian dress. I think it's the energy that we sense, because, and here's something before we all go to lunch, we're all in the energy business, because it's the innovative energy to create the school, the best school in the world, to create the movement of the whole Niger Delta for the good of itself. You know what I mean? To transform Belmopan and the surroundings, everything. And we've only started. And actually, I don't want to breach any confidentiality, but I want you to know that the ambassadors here today are already helping in ways we would never have imagined. Muchas gracias. It's thank you.
Answer her question, right? Yes. Properly is that you are your own, I believe you are your own worst enemy. So if you have that, you enter into something that, say, you want to buy a new car, and you go to the dealership and you look at the car and it says, oh, but it's a bit out of my reach. But you have the money sitting in the bank, but it's out of my reach. Or you have an employment that can pay for it. The doubt, that self-doubt will never allow you to achieve what you want to achieve. So you get out of the way and say, no, that was my major thing. And it's to a certain extent, I still have self-doubt. But it's not as much as I used to be. Yeah.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you. I also like to acknowledge the ambassador, the representative of the ambassador from Mexico, because Carlos, who was the last ambassador, brought 15 ambassadors here just before COVID. And he did it because he wanted to share this model. He wanted Mexico, he wanted all the other countries to know that there was basically an energy within ourselves that was not even about words, it's about the sense of that energy and helping each other and working together and transcending national boundaries. And I do not know the new Mexican ambassador, and I think it's a lady. And yes, I would love to get to know her. But I particularly appreciate you coming today, because our next door neighbors, Guatemala and Mexico, it's really important that we're all reaching out and sharing trade ideas and just fundamental life stories that can help each other on the journey of life. I know we've probably got a lot of hungry people, and I'd love to continue these discussions. Can we invite everybody over to the Palapa? Where's Edward? Oh, there you are. We've got lunch for everybody over at the Palapa?
Yes.
maybe it's probably a good time, Duni.
Okay.
We're a bit hungry over here. Could we stop for lunch and get back maybe later?
Okay, okay, that'll be fine. But before we go for lunch, on behalf of the Nigerian government, we have this fantastic gift called the talking drum.
Oh, the talking drum. Does anybody know about the talking drum? You better tell us about the talking drum.
So the talking drum, I don't know if you can see me. I'm trying to project it here. Just a minute.
Do you play the talking drum? You play it? Yeah.
Okay, so this is the talking drum, all the way from Nigeria as a gift for the mayor and the entire Belize nation. And the talking drum is a unique drum in the sense that it says whatever you want it to say. So I have the stick for the drum, and I have the drum, and anything you want it to say. So if you want to say, let there be oil in Belize, it will tell you, will echo it back and tell you, let there be oil in Belize. And if you want to say, let there be more oil in Belize, he's gonna ask you that, let there be more oil in Belize.
Oh, wow, okay.
So this is meant to be a national gift all the way from Nigeria to Belize, and it's still going to land. He's in transit. He's going to land very soon. And then we hope that the Belize government and the BNE team will take it as our gift from Nigeria to Belize as a nation in commemoration.
Madam Mayor, come on, let's come up and get
it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I think it's lunchtime, and we're going to have our own e-lunch here as well.
Go like this. Yeah, like this. Put the drum up, Duni.
Okay.
We're going to take the drum.
Oh, okay. So you can actually put it up in on your ham this way. Yeah. And there be oil in Belize. Whatever you want, just say it. So we're going for lunch. Okay, no, let there be gas in Belize. 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 And anything you want to say, you could Google it. Just say the Nigerian talking drum. You see the picture. You will see all the different details about the drum and what it does. And this is a special one branded with the Nigerian coat of arms and the Nigerian flag, both in and out, as a national gift to Belize as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank you.
I think on that note, I know we've got a lot of hungry people. We didn't invite the whole of Nigeria to come for lunch, but it's nobody virtually.
Only via Amazon.
We'll do e-lunch. Or we we'll also get our own dinner.
I want to know about an e-lunch. So we can't get you out to the Palapa. It's outside in a Belizean setting. And we've got no computers out there. So you have to have your dinner and then see what happens afterwards, okay?
Okay, so we take a lunch break, everybody, or dinner. We take a dinner break here while you take a lunch break. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Elumi, can we have a soft music playing at the background? Thank you.
Yes. Excuse me, we've got a special gift here from Nigeria to the ambassador. Go ahead.
This is, let me just explain it a little bit. I work with the Nigerian content development very good. One of the things we do is to build capacity and of course local content flows. Some of the challenges that we encountered trying to enforce the law was that we didn't have a lot of skills or we didn't have capacity, financial muscle in the oil and gas business. Because the oil and gas business, as you know, is very capital intensive. So one of the projects I have is the Nigerian oil and gas parks. So we want investors to come, set up. We don't want to building the structures and French or anything. We set up the investors come, take up shop, and start their business. So in as much as we are doing local content, we are not taking FTS. We want the FTS to come because without the FTS, local content will survive anyway. If BNE wasn't there, we will have 99% Elysians working in the oil and gas industry. So it took Ms. Morris to discover the oil to be able for us to even start talking about local content. Without that, maybe we're just farmers or doing other things. So as much as we want Nigerians or Belizeans to build their capacity and enjoy the industry, at the same time, we want people to come and invest their money and bring their skills and teach us. Because as advanced as we are compared to Belize, we're still learning. I don't know everything that we need to know. I will continue to learn. So this document, like a flyer, has everything about the logos, Nigerian oil and gas parks. Let's go through it and see what we're doing. And we have some of other of our programs that we do Nigerian oil and gas opportunity fair. So I will try to extend that to Mrs. Mayor. It happens every 2 years. So we'll send you an invite for the one that we'll see next year. Oh, yeah. So you see the opportunities in the Nigerian oil and gas industry and see what relations, because we posted the ambassador to Antigua, who invited us to come to Antigua once a month when for that info. Now that I've met you, I think it's something that we need to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zuera. Thank you so much for that.
Sorry.
She's already having her lunch. We want to take a note from you and also give out a few presents. Is that all right? Albert, you want to just do that? I'll pass them out while you talk about it. Or Eugene can do it too. Let's just do it. These are gifts for you all to go home to your countries and know that you've got a piece of Belize. Yes. But it's a piece of Belize from about 2,800 feet below the surface here. This is a piece of the Yalback Reservoir in each box, and a little thank you from Belize Natural Energy. But it's special because it's from a core from Mike Usher 14, one of our oil wells. So remember the drum? More oil in Belize. Take it and hold it and love it. There you go. Oh, very much. I know you've got lots of oil. You want to get lots of oil. This is special.
Thank you very much.
A piece of Belize rock. Like half a mile down below. How many more do we have?
He said that yesterday. And now he's saying it up in our hearts. Sure.
I'd like to give a Oh, we have, did you get your box? We got 2 more boxes.
Let me get some more from out front. Okay, thank you.
Say Belize.
Belize.
More oil. Belize. More oil. Belize. Thank you very
Sorry. I would call this Mexico. Like right? Yes. You know what I call this? Which is very interesting. You all they say it very
I'm afraid I missed that.
Hablando de la corona, por eso. Like, okay, wait. Dice que está haciendo. Es el mismo, pero es interesante. Speaking yesterday, I talked about part of that here, actually, in Spanish,
That's what I operate. Patricia, did you see? You're right, you're right, you're right.
And I don't look forward to this.
Yeah. So, how long have you been on your phone?
Yeah, I did my different centers.
Oh, your brother, your brothers, yeah. Oh, she's like, also. There's no way Nigeria will stay here. Some good health. What he is that he said, oh, he's campaign manager. So I have to go there. Yeah, he's contesting again. So this is what happened for us. So there's enough campaign. You know, once I do campaign, nobody needs. So that's yeah, but let me tell you. Sure. That's just put sweet.
What's that? No, that's all right. That's all right.
What are we doing? What's the income? Can we need some of our stuff here?
Yes, you could go ahead.
Where are we going?
Right over the side.
Oh, okay, let's go.
All right. Okay.
Hi, everything. My passport registration. So let me just. Oh, okay. Who? Oh, okay.
So you're not going there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she pick food. Now she pick food.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Belize. South America. I want to be like you. So it's not the guy said it to me. Let me see what I will tell you, but that's what you forwarded to me. Because that's what yes. Even what happened, you want to get to Abuja, I told you not to get Abuja.
You suffer from the only girl syndrome. You know what it is? Yes. Tell her. And God has given me therefore. And they all look like twins.
He said that.
To touch my teeth.
I'll get back to you.
Ask them, I go crazy. But I've learned also that you don't pay any attention anymore. Or is it? Just taking them over, because I'm like your boss, I'm taking them over. But no, I don't care. I don't say anything. If I left it for, when you leave a perfume there, you want it there, right? I'm like, you understand?
Do we want to
Five girls, 5 boys.
What's your height?
Yeah, no, not my husband, my stepfather has 5 boys, 2 girls. Oh, the twins. 3 boys, 3 girls. Because my father is a man of equity. Then he has twins. We have to balance the situation. Since 2006. Yeah, because I chose to live in.
When my own kids, 5 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I imagine your
And
parents.
my own kids.
5 boys, 5
I have
girls.
only 4.
Guys, only 4 boys. Only 4 is only.
That's no girl. That's no girl.
So you have to pray for a good daughter-in-law.
She kept trying to get it. She kept trying to get it done. and kept having children. The last set, after having 9 children, she now had twins, boys, so she gave up. So her last son impregnated, well, she had no, it's not him. He used to go to school. Then she gave birth to a baby because she keeps, that's my son's daughter. I'm going to do like fighting and crying every day. The mother said, no, you elected this girl. You are not every day she'll come and start crying. Please let me have my daughter.
I know, but I don't know why I was thinking plus 1.
I would say keep it on your seat. I need to live your person. I need that. Because then they won't- Oh, you guys.
I have the refrigerator. I don't. I could leave it there, and if the place will stay right there when I go back.
Thank you for the pics.
Oh, thank you.
I put it back here. Are you coming on the tour with your time? No,
we have
a
legal advisor.
Okay.
Oh.
Now,
All the way to membership number
we
1.
have
I am with the curl. Okay. What about you? How long has she been?
Yes,
Okay, so that's what we do first. Let me tell you.
She came from Belgium. I schooled in Belgium. In Ghent.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a request from a number to go to the microphone number 1, the first site ever, quickly, and then come back.
After forever.
You're just good. Okay. Are you coming?
Yes.
I'm
going back.
back.
I think we should pick up. Yeah.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah, go back.
Albert, do we just head out to the bus?
Yes, I just want to have it. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia.